I have a serious question, Donald. For just one day, can you act like an adult? Can you be normal? I know the answer's no. Donnie No Deals does it again, humiliating the United States when he was in Rome for Pope Francis's funeral. A cardinal who was even giving a speech called Donald Trump out for building walls instead of bridges. How do you get called out at a funeral of a pope? Well, if your name is Donald Trump, that's how. I mean, he shows up yesterday wearing a blue suit. Look, everybody around him follows the dress code, but Donald Trump wears a blue suit. You're supposed to wear a black suit with a long black tie. That's the dress code. Then Donald Trump falls asleep during the proceedings, during the ceremony. You know who didn't fall asleep? And you know who followed the dress code? Former President Biden did. You see him right there following the dress code. What do you think Melania was praying for here? What do you think she was thinking here? So then Donald Trump was outside, and then French President Emmanuel Macron and Prime Minister Keir Starmer, they were with President Zelensky. Watch this moment here where Macron shakes one hand. Notably, when Donald Trump puts his hand out, French President Emmanuel Macron did not have any time for it. President Emmanuel Macron, like, let's get real, Donald. I'm not doing the stupid handshake. On the domestic front, Donald Trump's approval is plummeting to the lowest in presidential history. Out of every single president ever, Donald Trump's approval rating, at least modern polling, the lowest, and it's getting lower. We talked about a bunch of polls yesterday, like the Pew Research poll, where Trump was polling at 40% approval, but on the economy, he was at like 37%. Similar results from the Fox poll, from the Reuters Ipsos poll. Well, the new Associated Press NORC poll just came out. Donald Trump's approval below 40% on this one, 39% approval. And then when you go into the various issues, like on immigration, Donald Trump has real big issues. On the economy, very small amount of people approve. Trade negotiations, like what is it? Only 37% approve. I mean, this is bad news for Donald. Bad data. But folks, when you see what Donald Trump's doing on the international stage, humiliating the United States, and on the domestic front, I mean, of course his approval is going to be plummeting right now. People are pissed. I mean, take a look at headlines like this. This is from the Rolling Stone article. Trump has now deported multiple U.S. citizen children with cancer. 2 families, among them 3 U.S. citizens aged 2, 4, and 7, were abruptly deported under troubling circumstances, says the ACLU of Louisiana, and also a Trump-appointed federal judge in Louisiana called Trump out as well for sending a 2-year-old United States citizen, deported the little baby to Honduras when his dad was petitioning, "Do not deport my son." And this from the Washington Post. 3 U.S. citizen children from 2 different families were deported with their mothers by Immigration and Customs Enforcement during the early hours of Friday morning. One of them is a 4-year-old with stage 4 cancer who was deported without medication or the ability to contact their doctors, the family's lawyer said. How horrific can you get? Apollo, not known for being a left-wing organization, Apollo, a private equity group that votes Republican or usually pushes Republican candidates. Their latest report talks about U.S. consumer sentiment collapsing. I mean, the University of Michigan Consumer Expectations Report has consumer expectations basically the lowest ever. I mean, we're talking about Great Depression levels of low consumer expectation, U.S. tourism collapsing, freight levels, trucking levels collapsing, cost pressures up. I mean, when you take a look at this map right here, which shows vessels leaving the port or not leaving the port of China. And you can see the kind of that fluorescent color right there by China. That represents all of these ships that are not leaving the ports to come to the United States with goods. And so there's usually about a 14-day to 21-day lag time. If you're following freight volumes, trucking volumes right now, there's major problems ahead. And we're going to be heading into a situation of scarcity where products that are supposed to reach the United States are not reaching the United States. Some more stories I want to share with you along those lines. Amazon sellers hiking their prices on hundreds of goods. You're probably seeing that if you're buying those goods right there. The Tesla protests, I want to give a shout out to them. Still going strong, even with Tesla just absolutely getting crushed right now because of the behavior of Elon Musk. That is not deterring any of the Tesla protesters. They show up every weekend with their signs like this right here. The dominoes are already falling. Donnie, protests are working. That's why we're proud here at the MeidasTouch Network to highlight the protests, to work with groups like 5051 to share their protests. Indivisible, other groups highlight their protests. It is a major, major priority of ours. I want to share this with you as well. Donald Trump talking about how it was in jest, he says, that he was saying that there would be peace in Ukraine in 24 hours. He said it was one big joke and that no one should have taken him seriously at all when he said there was going to be peace in Ukraine. He said that it was fake news if you thought he was being serious. Just so you can see, let me share with you what it is that Trump said. Here, play this clip.
End the war in Ukraine in 24 hours.
Yes, I do.
How would you do that?
I know Zelensky very well.
I'll end that war between those two countries in 24 hours. It won't even take that long. I will get the war ended. I'll stop all of those lives from being wasted and lost. And there'll be no more bombing of Ukraine. There'll be no more bombing of Russia. And everybody will be happy.
It can be negotiated, I think, within 24 hours. It really has to be done from the office of the president, and you have to get them both in a room. And there are things you can say to each one of them, which I won't reveal now, which will guarantee that this war will end immediately.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like someone who is joking right there at all. I want to read this for you as well. This is what Donald Trump posted yesterday. So, one of his posts yesterday after meeting with Zelensky, Donald Trump's post was, well, I actually don't think that Putin may want peace at this point. I think that Putin's, may not be interested in peace. Really, it took you that long, Donald, to come to that conclusion. By the way, there have been 0 deals so far in the 15 or 16 days since Donald Trump said there would be 90 deals in 90 days. And here's what Trump's posting as well. American ships, both military and commercial, should be allowed to travel free of charge through the Panama and Suez canals. Those canals would not exist without the United States of America. I've asked Secretary of State Marco Rubio to immediately take care of and memorialize this situation. So from Donald Trump, it's basically just moving on to now threatening more people. Who's going to huff, he's going to puff, and he's going to blow your house down. But at this point, everybody knows, when it comes to Donald, he threatens, he then falls asleep, he moves on, he claims there are going to be deals, and then there's no deals. It's just total BS, one after another. So we'll keep you posted with more, but that was Donald Trump's, I think, embarrassing day yesterday. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
New Meidas merch drop! Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.meidastouch.com.